Hi, my name is Lisa. In this video, I'll be discussing negative exponents and the zero exponent rule. For any real number x and a real number b not equal to 0, b raised to the negative x power is the same as taking 1 over b to the x. In other words, the negative exponent tells us to take the reciprocal of our expression. Also, 1 over b to the negative x equals b to the x. When we take the reciprocal of 1 over b to the negative x, we're getting b to the x over 1, and we always change that exponent to be positive. Rewrite the following expressions with positive exponents. 2 to the negative 3. The reciprocal of 2 is 1 over 2, so we have 2 raised to the third power. When you take the reciprocal, you change that exponent to make it positive. The negative exponent does not change the sign of our expression. This says we have negative 2 to the negative 3, which means we have negative, and then 2 to the negative 3, as we saw in the previous example, is 1 over 2 to the third power. So this is negative 1 over 2 to the third power. Now notice I'm not writing 2 to the third power as 8 because the directions told me to write the following expressions with positive exponents. So I'm still writing them in exponential form. Example number 3 says we have negative 2 in parentheses raised to the negative 3. So the entire base negative 2 is what's being raised to that exponent. The exponent says, the negative part tells us to take the reciprocal, 1 over negative 2 to the positive 3 power. Example 4, 1 over x to the negative 3. If I take the reciprocal, I'm going to get x to the third power. And in example 5, we have 5 over y in parentheses to the negative 6 power. What's the reciprocal of 5 over y? It's y over 5. I still need to have that in parentheses to the positive 6 power. So I took the reciprocal, which is what the negative exponent told me to do. And if I use my fraction rules, I could rewrite this without parentheses as y to the 6 over 5 to the 6th power. And there's my example in simplest form. You always want to make sure that you're writing all of your answers with positive exponents. Now, one kind of problem I do want to caution you about, this is not in your workbook, but if you have x squared over y to the negative 3, you are only taking the reciprocal of the part of that expression that has a negative exponent. When we take the reciprocal of y to the negative 3, it's kind of like saying we move it to the top of our fraction. X squared, that's already positive. X squared stays in the top. Y cubed moves to the top, and we'd be left with 1 in the bottom or just x squared y cubed. So the only parts of the expression that you're taking the reciprocal of are the parts that have negative exponents or what's inside of parentheses. The zero exponent rule says for any non-zero real number b, b to the 0 equals 1. So pretty much any number except 0 raised to the 0 power will give us 1. 9 to the 0 power is 1. In example 2, we have our base is negative 9. The number negative 9 to the 0 power is 1. That's a little bit different from example 3. Example 3 says we have a negative and then 9 to the 0 power. Remember, this is like saying the negative hangs out and we have 9 to the 0 power. The 0 power only acts on the 9. So the negative out in front stays, and then 9 to the 0 power is 1. This expression simplifies to -1. In example 4, we're adding two expressions. So again, think of the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We're going to do the exponents before we add. So 7 to the 0 power is 1. The number -7 to the 0 power is 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So this expression simplifies to the number 2. And in example 5, we have the number 1/2. Remember, it's everything inside that parentheses. 1/2 to the 0 power is 1. Any non-zero number raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. And that concludes our video. Again, my name is Lisa. Have a great day.